What if I told you the strongest minds in history weren't born that way? They were forged through suffering, failure, and 6 ancient rituals most men today have forgotten. The Stoics didn't chase comfort. They trained their minds to become unbreakable. And in the next few minutes, you'll discover the exact practices that made them unstoppable and how you can apply them right now. Practice number 1, voluntary discomfort. The Stoics had a brutal ritual, one most modern men wouldn't dare try. They called it voluntary discomfort. But this wasn't about self-punishment. It was about control. Seneca, one of the wealthiest men in Rome, would set aside several days each month where he ate only coarse bread and slept on the ground. He wore his oldest clothes and walked through the city like a beggar. Why? To ask himself a single question: is this what I feared? When you willingly experience discomfort, the fear of loss begins to dissolve. You stop being controlled by cravings, by comfort, by the illusion that you need more. Cato the Younger, a political leader, would wear plain, unfashionable clothes in public. He knew people would mock him. That was the point. He trained his mind to be unaffected by ridicule, by vanity, by the crowd. This wasn't masochism. It was mental armor. Today, you don't need to sleep on the ground or wear a tunic, but you do need discomfort. Wake up early without snoozing. Fast for 12 hours. Go to the gym when it's cold. Speak the truth when your voice shakes. These are your training grounds. Every moment of chosen discomfort is a declaration. I do not fear pain. I do not serve comfort. I serve strength. Practice number 2, Premeditatio Malorum. Most people fear the future because they refuse to look at it. The Stoics did the opposite. They stared directly into their worst fears, and through that, became fearless. They called it Premeditatio Malorum, the premeditation of evils. Marcus Aurelius, Rome's most powerful man, would begin his mornings not by visualizing success, but failure. He imagined betrayal by friends, the death of his children, the collapse of the empire he carried on his shoulders. Why? Because by mentally rehearsing loss, he robbed it of its surprise. And when real hardship came, he met it with calm. This practice wasn't about pessimism. It was about emotional conditioning. Seneca wrote, "He robs present ills of their power, who has perceived their coming beforehand." Now fast forward 2,000 years. Sarah, a startup founder in her early 30s, was haunted by the fear of losing everything. Her company, her savings, her reputation. Every decision felt like life or death. Anxiety controlled her. Until she tried this Stoic exercise. Each morning, she sat quietly and imagined the worst-case scenario: bankruptcy, humiliation, starting over. At first, it felt terrifying, then liberating. She realized, even if she lost everything, she wouldn't be broken. That realization gave her freedom. When you mentally face loss, you stop being its slave. And what you do have, your health, your family, your breath, becomes sacred. So here's your challenge. Every day, take 3 minutes. Picture losing one thing you deeply value: your job, your home, someone you love. Let the discomfort rise, then let gratitude follow. Because when death and loss are no longer unthinkable, life becomes unforgettable. Practice number 3, the dichotomy of control. One of the most powerful lessons from Stoicism is the simple truth that not everything is yours to control. Epictetus, born a slave, yet rising to become a revered philosopher, taught his students this life-changing principle. Some things are up to us, and some things are not. This is the foundation of the dichotomy of control, a mental boundary that separates what you can influence from what you cannot. The tragedy for most men is they waste their energy on the uncontrollable, the words of others, the outcomes of events, or the unpredictable twists of fate. Epictetus argued that true freedom begins when you stop fighting these forces. Picture a boxer in the ring. They can't control every punch thrown at them, but they control their guard, their footwork, their focus. This acceptance is not defeat, it's empowerment. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." In the chaos of modern life, where news, social media, and opinions assault us non-stop, this principle is a lifeline. You cannot control the market crashes, political turmoil, or global crises, but you can control your actions, your mindset, your responses. Ask yourself, where am I wasting energy on things beyond my control? What small actions, right here and now, are truly mine to shape? By focusing only on what's within your power, you sharpen your will, reduce anxiety, and become mentally unbreakable. Practice number 4, journaling for reflection. The Stoics believed that a mind unexamined is a mind untrained. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor known as the Philosopher King, kept a personal journal called Meditations. But these weren't polished writings for public praise. They were raw, honest reflections, notes to himself about struggles, fears, and the constant pursuit of virtue. This daily habit helped him pause, reset, and maintain clarity amid the chaos of ruling an empire. Journaling acts as a mental gym in today's world, a sanctuary for your thoughts. When you write, you confront your fears, recognize your progress, and set clear intentions. It doesn't matter if you write 1 sentence or 10 pages. What matters is consistency and honesty. This ritual strengthens discipline and self-awareness, the building blocks of mental unbreakability. In a world drowning in distractions, your journal is a rare place to find focus and alignment with your deepest values. So grab a notebook or open a blank document and start with one question. What did I do today that served my strength? Over time, these reflections become a powerful mirror, guiding your growth and resilience. Practice number 5, Amor Fati. The Stoics didn't just accept fate, they learned to love it. This was their secret to true freedom. The phrase Amor Fati means love of fate. It was more than mere acceptance. It was embracing everything life throws at you, good or bad, as necessary and valuable. Marcus Aurelius, facing endless wars, betrayal, and personal loss, wrote in Meditations, "Bring yourself to love whatever happens, whatever each moment brings." His life was full of hardship, yet he found peace by choosing to love his reality, not just tolerate it. Seneca faced exile and political intrigue, Yet he preached that adversity is a teacher, not an enemy. This mindset is not resignation. Imagine a storm battering a tree. The tree bends, but it does not break because it flows with the wind, embracing the force rather than fighting it. This is Amor Fati. In the modern world, it means when you lose a job, face rejection, or endure failure, you don't curse your fate. You welcome it as a challenge to grow stronger. It transforms suffering into purpose, because your power lies not in controlling what happens, but in how you love and respond to it. Practicing Amor Fati daily turns life's chaos into your greatest ally. Practice number 6, endurance and perseverance. The final pillar of mental unbreakability is endurance, the relentless commitment to keep moving forward no matter the obstacles. Seneca famously said, "It does not matter how slowly you go, as long as you do not stop." The Stoics endured hardships most men could barely imagine. Marcus Aurelius led armies through brutal wars, all while grappling with personal grief and political betrayal. Seneca faced exile, imprisonment, and ultimately forced suicide. Yet, his writings reflect a spirit unbroken. Endurance is not just about physical strength. It's about mental fortitude. It's waking up every morning, knowing the day might bring pain, setbacks, or failure, and deciding to face it anyway. Imagine a runner on a long, grueling race. The pain in their legs, the burning lungs, those moments define the race. But the finish line is only crossed by those who endure. Your modern battles may not be wars or exile, but they are no less real. A crushing workload, toxic relationships, personal doubts. The Stoics teach us that these trials are not barriers, but the very material from which resilience is forged. Endurance turns pain into progress, struggle into strength, and uncertainty into wisdom. The question is, will you stop when it gets hard? Or will you embrace endurance and become unbreakable? These 6 ancient practices aren't just philosophies. They are a call to action, but knowing them is not enough. The question is, will you choose to live them? Because the path to becoming mentally unbreakable demands more than understanding. It demands endurance, discipline, and relentless commitment. Tomorrow will bring challenges you cannot predict, but what you practice today prepares you for what lies ahead. So ask yourself, when the storm comes, will you break, or will you stand unshaken? The answer is yours. But remember, the strongest minds in history were not born unbreakable. They made themselves so.